Hello YouTube, I am Kenneth from, well, what am I talking about, it's my channel. Anyway, so I'm going to decide to put together a list of the top 7 free 2D animation programs that I have seen, and a lot of them I have used. Now, before I begin, I want to say, this is by no means fact. This is just all my based opinion. So, I'm just going to get that out of the way. Pencil is probably the most simplest animation tool I have ever seen. It is basically a simple frame-by-frame animation thing where you draw a sketch, you go to next frame and draw another sketch but slightly moved, and you put them all together and it slowly basically makes animation. A very simple tool I would recommend for beginners, but it's not very advanced and not really good for very large projects. Simfig Studio is an open source animation tool for 2D animation that eliminates the need for frame-by-frame animation like Pencil has. Now, it basically introduces armature, and it actually includes a thing that Adobe Flash actually has, where you can take all these parts and move them, rotate them, and everything. Problem was, the program actually took a lot of power to run and ended up crashing a lot. You needed a converter for the files, and it wasn't really the best for big projects, but if you wanted to do it, I ain't gonna stop you. You can do it, it's gonna take a long time. Now, Crazy Talk Animator. I've actually heard a lot of good things about this program, and I've seen that you can do some really decent and cool animations with it. It's also a good thing where you could build characters, and you could even import a freaking human character, well, like a human being wise photo, and you could give it armature and make it move, like for silly whatever things. I don't know much about the program because I've never used it, but I do think it deserves a spot on this list. Personally, I do have Cinema 4D. It's just I am aware you can make 4D animations in it. I'm sorry, I mean 2D animations. I'm kind of confusing myself. It's just that, well, I would imagine it would be very similar to another program that I've used. In fact, it's next on our countdown to the best 2D animation softwares that you can get for free. Basically, I just never really used Cinema 4D for much really anymore. It was a cool program that one of my friends helped me get, but I just don't know. Anyway, I would imagine it'd be very similar, and I think it deserves a spot on this list, because I would imagine it wouldn't be really different, and you could probably make some pretty cool stuff in it. Blender actually was meant to be a 3D program, but you can actually, well, the reason I like Blender is it's not just a thing where you can make 3D and 2D animations in. It has its own game engine, it has its own video editing software, it has its own motion tracker, and it's all free. Why Cinema offers less and charges a lot, is out of my mind. Reason I really didn't like Cinema. I think it deserves all the credit it's been getting because I've done some work in it. In fact, my actual intro I've made was actually done in Blender itself. I think Blender deserves a spot on this countdown as number 3. Now, Adobe Flash. I would highly recommend this if you were planning a large-term animation project. I've seen some pretty cool stuff being done in this software, and like a lot of projects. I would highly recommend it. It is, imagine something like Synfig, but more advanced, less laggy, non-resource requirement. Well, not as much as Synfig. More advanced, auto-correcting, and it's just, I think it's kind of perfect. But there is something I believe that deserves the #1 spot, which we will get to right now. Toon Boom Studio is gotta possibly be the most advanced 2D animation software I have ever seen in my life. In fact, it's so popular that a lot of new TV shows like Cartoon Network and animation companies like Disney, what else are there? Like Pixar, maybe, I don't know, are using basically this new program for some production, and it's the results you can get out of it are just extremely good. The problem is the software is like $200, but if you have that money, I would highly recommend you check it out if you want to start a career in animation. And basically, that would be my list.